millions of people, the home is the biggest investment they will ever make. It's more than just a place to live. It's a reflection of who they are, their dreams, and their aspirations. So why not make it everything you've ever wanted? Whether you're looking to build from the ground up, renovate a beloved family space, or add those finishing touches that make the house truly feel like a home, the right construction company can turn your vision into a reality. Today, we're going to explore how one local company is doing just that, transforming ideas into stunning functional spaces that meet the unique needs of every client. I'm Chris Benson, and today's guest is a home renovation specialist ready to turn your home into the relaxing oasis you deserve. Please welcome Lucas Scarchilli from Scarchilli Design and Build to the show. Lucas, it's great to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so tell me about your place in the business right now. I understand it might be a family tradition.
Yep, so right now it's father and son team is my dad and I. I'm the owner. He is the project manager, and that's basically the structure right now.
Wonderful. So how did it all begin?
Well, my dad started remodeling homes in the year 2000, and he did it until, for about 15, 20 years, and then shut down, and I reopened it last year in November, and he joined back with me, and it's been the two of us.
Is it something that you always wanted to do? Like, do you remember being younger, watching him and saying, oh, I'm going to do this someday? Or no, were you like, I don't want anything to do with it?
No, totally. When I was young, growing up, it's all I wanted to do. It was my dream to take over the business. And, as I remember getting into my teens and I started to see really how difficult his life was, and I'm like, okay, maybe not. And I started looking at other options.
Yeah.
But I came back around, like I said, about a year ago. I'm like, man, I could really do this.
What made you change your mind? Because it is a lot of work, especially anybody who owns a business or has a family business will tell you, like, it's, especially in construction, you always hear, in design, you always hear, like, people who do that, like, they're working all the time, right?
Yeah.
So what was it that changed your mind and made you want to do it?
Well, actually, it wasn't really like I changed my mind. It was more last couple years I was trying to figure out where my place was in life, I got to a point where, like, I need to make some money. What skills do I have to where I can make decent money? And my first thought was, I feel like I could remodel a bathroom on my own. And so I told my dad, and he's like, well, I'll help you, and so that was my first thought. And then it just kept going from there, and just, kept growing and learning.
So what's a typical day in the life look like for you now?
So it's a different answer whether you're talking about, a year ago, 6 months ago, or today, just because of the way we've been shifting the business. I would say from the beginning up until, say, about 3-4 months ago, it was on the job site every day, the same job site every day, just doing all the work. From start to finish, it was my dad and I doing all the work. And today, I try and spend as much time at home as possible on the computer, looking at my numbers, trying to just keep the operations moving, in the back end. And for my dad, the day-to-day is driving around the truck from one job site to the next, checking on the guys, getting them started. And I'm doing a little bit of that too. But right now it's kind of, we're in a transition period, so it looks different every day.
Tell me, where are you guys located and where do you do most of your business?
We're located in South Lyon, Michigan.
Okay.
And ideally we do more work out in that area, but we have traveled really in all of Metro Detroit area, Detroit, Rochester Hills, Grosse Pointe, Farmington Hills, Commerce, Brighton, all the areas. But we obviously, the closer the better.
So a design and build, why would I need to use your company? Tell me a little bit about what it is that you do.
Okay. Some people would prefer to go with a design and build company. It's the full experience. You work with a personal designer. We have multiple package options depending on how comfortable you feel designing on your own, or if you want a full-time designer, someone who's real professional and can lay everything out, walk you through the whole process, or there's partial where we can help you, send you to certain places to look for certain items and stuff like that. So, really, there's a range of ways you could go about it, but really it's all about the structure and the systems to take you from the beginning to the end, to have it to be an enjoyable process. Try and make it as smooth as possible, you know, and just an enjoyable experience at the end of the day.
I love that you say that, because when I think of like moving or building or designing, that feels very stressful to me. How do you help people not experience that stress? Like how do you do that?
Yeah, that's a good question. Something my dad's really good at is making the job an enjoyable process for the clients. It's something I've learned from him, and still trying to learn more from him. I mean, we deal with a lot of stress, you know, as the contractors, and there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that it's like you know, the parents are dealing with financial issues and they don't want to let their kids know. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we sometimes we keep some of the more difficult problems, but we try and be as transparent as possible. And when we present a problem to a client, you know, we present them with a couple solutions. You know, there's a couple different ways we can go about this. And so we're always transparent. We keep them in tune, but we try to limit their worry and stress as much as possible.
Because I feel like it can be a very emotional process.
Yes.
Like when I was doing the intro to the show, I was talking about, you know, it's a place in the house that's a beloved place, and then you want to add on. So I imagine you deal with a lot of emotions that people bring to you. Sometimes good, sometimes bad.
Yeah. Well, especially it's been our first year. Yeah. Right. And so things don't go as smoothly as they will in our 10th year. Yeah. Right. So we're always, you know, it's always like shifting and moving, and you got to expect things to come up. If you've ever had remodeling done in your home, it's like it's never a streamlined process. You always run into something, you know, and you know, materials get delayed, the guy can't show up, it moves the whole project back, you know. So it's like, I'm sorry, I forgot the question.
Well, the emotions, you know, it sounds
the emotions,
like,
right.
that you guys are the kind of that stabilizing force that you can rely on.
Yeah, that's kind of how it feels. Is, you know, we try and stabilize it for the client, and that's really our job at the end of the day. But clients, I mean, it is an emotional. I'm learning it's an emotional experience for the clients. I mean, some clients we've gotten really, really close with during the project and even afterward. And one in particular, I remember telling me like, you know, they've had projects where it was a strain on their marriage. You know.
Oh my gosh.
I never realized it could be such you know, such an emotional journey for people, you know.
All the more reason why it's important to go with someone that's a pro, I imagine.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we have to take a short break. So when we come back, we'll hear a little bit more about Scarchilli Design and Build. Stay tuned.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, "Read your lease. No pets allowed." My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Oh, emojis! I thought the conversation just got dumber.
Ugh, internet trolls, just ignore them.
I like you just the way you are.
I believe in you!
She's a hugger. Give her a squeeze.
Help up the hand.
Ah, there you go.
Thanks, mate.
You're killing it, Jane!
Marie, you have prediabetes.
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
Hi, I'm Peter, and there's nothing I love more than sharing vegetables with my friends.
Come on in.
Help yourself to anything. That's why we give our food the utmost respect it deserves. Did you know There are simple steps we can all take to help save food. You can cook it, store it, even share it. Just don't waste it. Because when it comes to food, better ate than never. To learn more, visit savethefood.com.
Welcome back to Celebrate Michigan. I'm Chris Benson, and joining me again today is Lucas Scarchilli from Scarchilli Design and Build. So Lucas, we were talking during the break a little bit about like renovations and how many of those you do. I'm going to ask this question. Is it harder to do a renovation or a new build?
Interesting question. I haven't done a new build.
Oh,
yeah, we're strictly
so.
renovation right now. I don't know. I think in my mind, a new build is more straightforward.
Yeah.
Because you get the plans and you just follow the plans. Renovations, you open up the walls, you don't know what you'll see. You know what I mean?
I bet you have stories.
I do have stories. Yeah, of course. I mean, every job's a story, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So it sounds like no 2 days are the same on this job.
Yeah, at least right now. I mean, as we integrate more structure and systems into the business, you know, things become more, you know, the day-to-day seem, you know, more structured, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So,
well, we're going to show people in the audience a little bit about what a day in life might look like for you. And I understand we've got some really good before and after pictures to show. So we'll take a look and tell us what we're looking at over here. Oh.
Okay, so this was a project in Rochester Hills. This is the before, obviously. And this one, as you see, there's a little bit of demo that already happened. The client had started it and thought they were going to remodel the bathroom on their own.
Oh.
But, you know, they realized it was a bigger project than they were hoping to do.
Oh.
This is the after.
Nice. I love that tub.
Yeah, a couple of cool things here. I mean, I love putting the chandelier over a tub like that.
That looks awesome. That looks like a place I'd love to be.
Yeah, and there's all kinds of lighting options in the bathroom too. Do you see like the under cabinet lighting?
Yeah, that's really slick.
And the mirror has the light on it. And then one cool feature in this bathroom is we did a curbless shower. So there's no curb on the shower.
Oh, wow. Something new, huh?
Yeah.
And the clients, I'm sure, loved it.
Oh, yeah, they loved it.
Oh, okay, we have another one here.
Okay, this is actually my favorite project that we've done. This is the before. This one is actually up in West Branch.
Okay.
About 2 hours north, and a good friend of ours, we did this for him. Remodeled the whole house.
Wow.
This is the after.
Cool.
Yeah.
That looks like a totally different place.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we painted all the cabinets, new hardware, new lighting, new backsplash. And this is just the kitchen of the house. I'm not sure if they're going to show the rest of the house, but we painted the whole house. We did a coffered ceiling, did a fireplace, all kinds of stuff in that house.
I love the lighting. It seems like you choose really unique lighting.
Yeah, that's my dad. My dad loves to go to Home Depot or the lighting shop, you know, Michigan Chandelier.
Yeah.
So this one is in Farmington Hills.
Okay.
Just a tiny little bathroom, like barely any room to move around.
I bet that was fun to kind of get in there and demo and do some rebuild on that.
Yeah.
Oh, and look at that.
Yeah, we tore the wallpaper off. This one did a nice little backsplash on the vanity there.
I love the color combination in there too. It's like very retro, but also modern.
Yeah, well, that's the client. You know, they decide we always try and guide our clients in the right direction, but at the end of the day, it's their decision. So
yeah, that was they made a smart move on that one.
Yeah, I think so.
That looks awesome. Okay, here's another one.
Okay, so this is the same house up in West Branch. This is probably the next picture you're going to see is probably the work I'm most proud of.
Oh, that's the before. I love. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you. This is the 0.5. You know, I take most of my pictures vertically, you know, for social media. So, but you know, I built this coffered ceiling, and then if you can see in the back, it's like a fireplace that I built back there.
I love the detail on the ceiling with the beams that are the same color. That really is a nice feature. Wow, I can see why that's the one you're most proud of.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to do that work.
Wow, so a lot of creativity gets to go into this work. How much of it is the client? Like, do you have a lot of clients? Because I do not have any creativity. So if I came to you and I was like, all I can tell you is I don't like this bathroom. What would you ask me to help me get to the bathroom that I want? What if that's all I bring you? Like, I just don't like it.
Oh, that's great. I mean, my dad would love that. My dad loves to create, and and he loves that process of guiding the client. I like more of the systems. I'm like, okay, how we're gonna get this done functionally. But if you came to me with, that vague,
I don't like this
statement,
bathroom.
right? We'd say like one thing is like, how do you want it to feel?
Okay.
Do you want it to feel a certain way? There's all kinds of keywords, and then like, have you seen any bathrooms that you've liked before?
Got it.
Have you been in any Airbnbs or any friends' houses where you just couldn't leave their bathroom? There's certain questions, stuff
That
like
kind
that.
of help you figure out what to do next.
Well,
in
they
the
start
process.
they start the conversation, because oftentimes we find that the clients they think they don't know. But once you start putting things in front of them, they light up.
They really
You know what
do.
I mean?
Okay,
Like
got it.
oftentimes we take our clients shopping.
Yeah.
Like the tile shop, and like it's so overwhelming. There's like infinite amounts of tile, right, to pick from. And we work with great designers too at the tile shop. But sometimes they see a tile and they're like, okay, I gotta have it.
Yeah.
And we've found that like once they get their heart set on something, it's like they'll keep coming back in their mind.
Yeah. And I love some of the pieces, like we talked about the lighting and everything. Have you ever found that someone builds like a whole design after one thing, like one key element? Or does it all just kind of come together?
I don't know if that has been the case yet for me. Maybe in the past it's happened with my dad, but maybe like one idea, like the Rochester Hills bathroom, they knew they wanted a tub in the corner, that kind of, so it helps you, it helps you with the layout.
And kind of build from there.
Yeah, that kind of thing, right.
You're giving me lots of ideas. I need to do renovations, so this is
we can
good.
talk after.
And I'm not creative. I need to see it, so this is good.
Awesome.
Well, we already are at another break. We know you're going to want to stick around. We'll be right back, and we'll hear more about design and build. So see you soon.
So my uncle calls and he says he's dizzy and he's losing his balance. I'm like, Unc, you want me to take you to a doctor? He's like, no, I'm gonna look up the symptoms. I said, your symptoms are you're dizzy and you're losing your balance. So he said, I can't get on the internet because my arm is numb. I said, well, use your good arm and dial 911. Stroke's no joke. If you or someone you love is showing symptoms of stroke, don't wait because it might be too late. Dial 911. Time lost is brain lost.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Fast-paced family life in need of a slowdown?
Hello, I'm Dr. Spruce. Did you know all those green shapes on maps are parks and forests? It's true. Visit discovertheforest.org and plan to visit a park or forest near you, instead of just wondering what it would have been like.
While the word forest might make you think of distant lands from far, far away, please note parks and forests are closer than you think, which means things like beautiful scenery, fresh air, and family time are also closer than you think.
Open road, here comes the Heffley family.
Whether it's a short trip or a long haul.
Estimated time, 47 hours.
They will beg.
You're hungry? I'm happy to provide.
They will plead.
Deep fried butter on a stick.
But whatever you do, don't wimp out.
Now you're talking.
Make them buckle up.
He can't hurt.
Remember, safety first. Cheese curls second.
Are you orange?
We're back again with Celebrate Michigan. I'm Chris Benson, and I'm back with Lucas Scarchilli from Scarchilli Design and Build. Oh, we've been talking about being creative. We saw some wonderful before and after. So I have to know, what is it like being a small business owner?
It's tough.
Okay.
I mean,
all right.
for the most part, I mean, it's At least in my experience, and I wouldn't say everyone's experience is the same, but I would say in general, though, I mean, you make sacrifices, you work longer hours, you know, I mean, you have to figure things out, you know, you don't just show up and do the work, you know, and it's a lot of, you know, thinking about what's coming, and you keep track of everything. It's a lot going on, you know, and you go through the seasons of the highs and the lows, right?
Sure, sure. What you mentioned about what's coming. What do you see in the future for the company?
So, let's see. What I'm most focused on is the client experience, and then the other thing I'm focused on is the fluency in which the business runs on the back end. You know, the less we have to keep track of, the more that is systemized and structured, and I'd love to, you know, it's the less problems you run into, right? Yeah. And so I'd love to. That's really my goal. It's to shoot for that right now. I just want to be in a place to where we're consistently taking on and closing out jobs, to where they're not taking too long and we're not taking on too much. But you know, that's. But at the end of the day, it's really client experience, and all of that. Even making our job easier makes the client's job easier.
I imagine, and it sounds like you're really thinking about how to make things smoother, and that's part of what I imagine being a small business owner is all about. Like, I mean, you're the boss, right? So you got to think about, okay, how do I improve this, right? And it sounds like that comes through for the client because they're getting better results.
Yes, of course. Yeah, and with us, I had mentioned that my dad and I were doing all of our work, right, up until about 3 months ago. And so the transition that we've been making in the last couple months is becoming more of general contractors rather than being hands-on and doing all the work. We're trying to, or what we have done and will continue to do, is get professionals of each trade to go in and do their job. You know, we get the framers, they go in and they do their framing. You know, we get the electrician and the plumber to go in and do their work professionally. Not that we didn't do it professionally, but you know, it makes the process quicker. I think a lot of times you get a better product this way.
Yeah.
A lot of the small, like maybe carpentry details, I'll take care of myself because I love doing it and I trust my hands. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, and some of the fixtures, putting up like the things that are very particular. Sometimes we'll take care of ourselves to make sure they're done properly. But you know, that's part of where we're going, is building a team to get things done, right?
And it sounds like that's what you have to do to expand, right? Like, you know you can do it, but you're like, if we want to grow, I got to let somebody else do it.
Yes, and that was part of one of my decisions was, it's either I'm going to stick to doing all the work or I'm going to grow. Yeah. And it's hard to do, you know, it's either really only one or the other. So and systems are everything.
So what have you learned about yourself in this process? Because it sounds like this has gone very well, but what have you learned?
That's a good question. About myself, I can handle more stress than I thought.
I thought you were going to say that.
Yeah. And I can keep track of more things than I'm probably meant to.
well, but it sounds like it's working.
It is, and you know, the more systems we get in place, the easier that makes it. But sometimes you don't have a choice. You know, you have clients that are relying on you. You have to get things done. Sometimes, you know, one thing. I mean, and I can work longer hours than I thought I could. You know, these kinds of things that. Sometimes it really takes, you know, the extra measure to make it happen.
Sure. Where can people find you if they've been hearing you today and they're like, oh, I need help? How can they get in touch with you guys?
Well, just giving me a call or shooting me a text would be the best way.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you want me to say my phone number.
However you want people to contact you.
And then we have an email and a website and an Instagram, which I try and keep up to date as much as possible. And so I'm not sure, are you going to, well, there's my phone number. And so, you know, any one of those ways.
Awesome.
Check out our work on our website or on Instagram.
And that, I imagine that is a full-time job, keeping Instagram updated with pictures and keeping it fresh. And so are you a social media expert?
No, definitely not. No, I mean, I know a thing or two, and, you know, I have a good sense for, you know, social media and stuff like that. But I'd love to get somebody in place eventually to do full-time media for the company. You know,
that's a whole art in and of itself.
Oh, 100%.
Like the pictures that they take, the right angles and everything.
Yeah. I think it'd be a huge upgrade in our business, and that's one of the things that I look forward to.
Yeah.
Is proper media, custom videos,
Sure.
and even videos of the guys working. Really like make it, and that's another thing I think it'd be really cool for the client to see a video of their of the process of their project.
Yeah.
Right. Not just the before and after. Right.
Well, it's really neat for me to hear. On this show, we celebrate all the different things that happen in Michigan, and it's neat to hear your story of how your business has scaled up and where you see it going in the future. What do you want people to know who might be thinking about starting a business in Michigan? What would you tell them? Advice. See, you didn't know I'd be asking you to give advice.
It's something I'd think about. I'd say it depends on what stage in life you're at. I mean, I'm 23, and so I could speak to somebody who's younger.
Yeah.
And I would say if you're younger than I am or around my age, try stuff.
Yeah.
Just try it, right?
Give it a whirl.
Give it a whirl. I mean, before I found remodeling, I did 4, 5, 6, 7 different things I couldn't even count. But I mean. And I was really, for me, I was trying to find my place in life.
Yeah, yeah.
I was trying to find my my career, you know.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to build something.
And it sounds like you found it.
Yeah, I think so. At least for the for the next,
awesome.
I don't know who knows how long, but at least for now, I don't see myself going anywhere.
Well, I wish you and your dad all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on Celebrate Michigan. Take care.